Title: Lockheed Martin F-35, Shadow of the Future. The desert sun blazed overhead, a merciless orb scorching the Nevada sands into a shimmering mirage that danced like ghostly fire across the horizon. Beneath that inferno sky, silence reigned, unnatural, almost sacred, until it was shattered by a low, guttural roar that seemed to tear the atmosphere itself. From the west, a silhouette emerged, sleek and predatory, its angular form slicing through the blue with impossible grace. No vapor trail betrayed its passage. No thunderous boom announced its arrival. It simply was, a whisper of titanium and ambition, a shadow cast by the future. This was the F-35 Lightning II, and today it wasn't just flying, it was hunting. Inside the cockpit, Captain Elena Reyes adjusted her helmet, her gloved fingers dancing across the glass touchscreen before her. Her eyes, sharp, focused, unwavering, scanned the augmented reality display projected onto her visor. Data streamed in real time. Threat vectors, terrain mapping, satellite uplinks, friendly positions, enemy signatures, all fused into a single, intuitive battlefield picture. She wasn't just a pilot anymore. She was a node in a networked war machine. The human heart of a system designed not merely to dominate the skies, but to redefine them. "Viper Actual, this is Watchtower," came the calm voice of the AWACS controller through her comms. Multiple radar contacts emerging from Sector Echo. Classification: hostile. Probable Su-57s, you are cleared hot. Elena exhaled slowly, her breath fogging the inside of her mask for just a heartbeat before the climate control whisked it away. "Copy, Watchtower." Viper Actual engaging. She nudged the sidestick controller, and the F-35 responded like an extension of her own nervous system, banking left with a fluidity that defied its 30-ton mass, its internal weapons bay already priming for release. This wasn't just another training sortie. This was the culmination of decades of innovation, billions in investment, and the relentless pursuit of air dominance by a nation unwilling to cede even an inch of the sky. The F-35 program, born from the ashes of Cold War dogfights and shaped by the asymmetric threats of the 21st century, was never just about building a fighter jet. It was about building the ultimate sensor shooter, a flying supercomputer wrapped in stealth, capable of seeing everything, striking anywhere, and surviving everything in between. And today, in this simulated high-end conflict over the Nevada Test and Training Range, the F-35 was about to prove why it remains the most advanced, most controversial, and most indispensable aircraft in the free world's arsenal. As Elena closed the distance, her jets and APG-81 AESA radar painted the enemy formations with silent precision. The Russian 5th-gen fighters, formidable in their own right, remained blissfully unaware. Their radars scanned the empty sky, hunting for the telltale heat bloom or radar return of a conventional threat. But the F-35? It was a ghost. Its radar-absorbent skin, its carefully contoured edges, its internal weapons carriage, all conspired to render it nearly invisible. Meanwhile, its distributed aperture system, DAS, a ring of infrared cameras encircling the fuselage, gave Elena a 360-degree view of the battlefield, as if she were floating outside her own jet. She could see the Su-57s through the fuselage, their heat signatures glowing like embers in the desert dusk. She didn't need to turn her head. She didn't even need to look down. The F-35 showed her everything. "2 bandits, 12 o'clock high, Angels 20, she reported calmly. "Going weapons tight." Her thumb hovered over the pickle switch. Below her, nestled in the weapons bay, 2 AM-120 AMRAAMs armed themselves with a soft electronic chime only she could hear. The F-35's mission systems calculated intercept solutions, factoring in wind, gravity, enemy maneuverability, and electronic countermeasures. All Elena had to do was decide when. She waited, just a fraction longer, letting the enemy commit, letting their arrogance seal their fate. Then, with surgical precision, she squeezed the trigger. Twin missiles leapt from their bays, their rocket motors igniting only after clearing the airframe to preserve stealth. Within seconds, the first Su-57 vanished in a fireball of shrapnel and flame. The second broke hard left, deploying flares and jamming, but it was already too late. The AMRAAM's active radar seeker had locked on, and nothing, not chaff, not maneuver, not prayer, could shake it now. A second explosion lit the sky, but the mission wasn't over. Ground control relayed new intel. A mobile surface-to-air missile battery had just activated deep in the canyon maze below. Traditional fighters would have had to break off, call in SEAD support, or risk a lethal engagement. Not the F-35. With a flick of her wrist, Elena switched modes. The jet's electro-optical targeting system, EOTS, locked onto the SAM site's thermal bloom. She selected a single GBU-39 small-diameter bomb from her internal bay. The F-35's computer calculated the release point, accounting for terrain masking and enemy radar coverage. She flew low, hugging the canyon walls, the jet stealth allowing her to slip beneath the enemy's radar horizon. At precisely 23,000 feet, 45 degrees nose down, she released. The bomb fell silently, guided by GPS and inertial navigation, then by its own millimeter-wave radar in the terminal phase. 3 seconds later, the SAM site ceased to exist. This was the F-35's true genius, not just in how it fights, but in how it thinks. It doesn't just carry weapons, it carries awareness. It doesn't just fly, it orchestrates. In a real-world scenario, Elena's jet would have been sharing targeting data with Navy destroyers, Army artillery units, and Allied aircraft across the theater, turning every friendly asset into a potential shooter. This is Joint Strike Fighter doctrine in action. One platform, multiple services, unified lethality. Developed by Lockheed Martin in partnership with Northrop Grumman, BAE Systems, and a global coalition of allies, the F-35 is more than an aircraft. It's a force multiplier, a digital backbone for 21st century warfare. Yet for all its technological marvel, the F-35's story is also one of human grit. Behind every flight hour are thousands of engineers who worked through the night to solve software bugs, test pilots who pushed the envelope to its breaking point, mechanics who crawl into tight spaces at 3 a.m. to ensure every bolt is torqued to spec, and pilots like Elena, who trust their lives to a machine that represents the bleeding edge of human ingenuity. The F-35 program has faced criticism, cost overruns, delays, early software limitations, but it has also evolved. With each software block upgrade, each new weapons integration, each pilot trained, the jet becomes smarter, deadlier, more resilient. Today's F-35 is not the same aircraft that first took flight in 2006. It's better, faster, smarter, and it's only getting started. As Elena climbed back to altitude, the sun dipping below the Sierra Nevada range,